So to release my game on Steam, I have to have 3 main mechanics implemented: combat, farming, and automation. I already added combat to my game in the first few days of development and further refined it for about a month. In the second month, I started work on farming, but first I had to make a decision on how big I wanted my farms to be. This would dictate the amount of optimization I would have to make. The number I landed on was 10,000 farming plots, which is more than double that of Stardew Valley. I don't want to bore you with the technical details of optimization, but basically I used this component, which apparently I can't even pronounce, to render the crops extremely efficiently. Using this method, I could actually render about 65,000 crops on screen, and the game was still running above 60 FPS. After that, I started work on harvesting the crops, which actually led me to redesign how the weapon and tool collision works. At the beginning, I used line traces to check the collision when swinging a weapon, but that would only check the collision with a single object. So I switched to an actual collider, and now you can swing your tool and every object it touches will be affected. This way you can harvest multiple pumpkins in one swing. After farming, I added some stuff I had in mind for the automation and crafting side of things, like a jackhammer and stones to mine. I also added an automatic mining solution, which is this drill here. Of course you need to power this thing with electricity, but I'm saving that for the next devlog, which will be all about automation and crafting. I also started to learn a bit about multiplayer networking and server replication. I don't plan on adding co-op for the first release on Steam, because that's a bit out of my scope for me at the moment, but co-op is definitely something I want to add in a future update. Gameplay mechanics aside, I worked a bit on the world building and decided to add 4 bosses, which are security guards of the main villain of the game. I plan on having each boss represent a specific trait. Like this first character I finished, named Brute, will be the strength character, so he is slow but hits like a truck. The other 3 bosses will probably have agility, intelligence, and perception traits. This trait theme is partially inspired by the bosses in Metal Gear Solid 3, which are all based on emotions.
I am the pain.
Well, that pretty much sums up what I've been up to this month. You can wishlist Dice Guy on Steam now, which really helps me out. Link is in the description. Thanks for watching and see you soon.